Welcome to Fortuna III, a futuristic alien world. It has since been abandoned by civilization due to deadly storms after having its vast resources mined. The only inhabitants left on this hellscape of a planet are dangerous monsters and other ambitious prospectors such as yourself, scouring the planet's remains for whatever valuables they may find that were left behind. With the planet's surface lost, the former inhabitants of Fortuna III found refuge at a prospect station which orbits the deadly planet. This is where our adventure begins. Your character starts out at Prospect Station, which is your home base. This is where you can have access to your personal bank, where you can stash all your goodies, if and when you make it back from a trip of course, as well as find faction contracts, shops, player housing, gear printers, cosmetics, as well as the Fortuna Battle Pass, all of which will be explained. There are 3 different factions in the game. Kordlev Heavy Industries. They seek many of Fortuna's rare resources and offer prospectors a wide variety of heavy weapons and armor rewards. Osiris seek to understand Fortuna's flora and fauna, as well as the ancient structures on the planet. They offer prospectors more mobility, speed, and evasion. Independent Civilian Advisory, or ICA for short, prioritize supplies, resources, and parts that can be repurposed on the station. They offer prospectors a balanced mix of mobility and power. Although you can absolutely level up all 3 factions at the same time, it is recommended, however, you stick to just one as your primary, since some of the later quests involve a little bit of a grind. So go ahead and choose whichever faction fits your preferred playstyle. Really, there's no wrong option here. For example, I personally chose Osiris, purely on how I like to cover as much ground as possible in a single drop. And I personally value mobility over power, especially in a stealth-based game. But hey, that's just me. You can sell any unwanted items to these 3 shops. Not only will you receive money, but you'll also receive a small amount of reputation towards that faction as well. So, if you have anything you need to sell or looking to buy, make sure you do it at the respected faction shop. Beside the faction shops, there's also a quick shop by the launch station. Really, the only thing I've found myself buying from here though is a gun if I need one, as the faction shops don't carry any of the white weapons for whatever reason. But remember, anything else you need, if possible, buy from your respected faction shops. When it comes to player housing, there's not a whole lot here. There's a generator and delivery station, which you can use to collect your mail, daily bonuses, as well as claim any insurance money from lost items. Besides that, we also have a quarters upgrade, which allows us to upgrade various things such as your inventory, safe pocket, as well as how many K-marks and Aurum your generators are able to create or hold at any given time. K-marks is the game's primary currency. It's what you'll be using to purchase things from the shop, as well as repair your armor. Aurum is a secondary currency which can both be earned through the generator as well as bought at an online cash shop. It can be used for various things such as cosmetics and item insurance. And your safe pocket is a small stash pocket that you can store small items in that will be kept safe in your inventory should you meet your early demise. Overall, you won't really spend too much time in here. The main thing you'll use this room for is just to get your daily rewards, as well as collect any insurance money you may have waiting for you. Also in the Prospect Station, we have the gear printer. It's a really cool machine that not only allows you to repair your damaged gear after returning home from a firefight, but you can also use the items you find scavenging around the planet to craft new items that help you on your later adventures, such as new weapons and attachments, armor and ammunition, other crafting materials, and even consumables like health kits and grenades. Not only is it a good use of spare materials you may have lying around, but it's also a great way to get a competitive edge on other prospectors you might find in your travels. You never know when a grenade or 2 is gonna come in handy. Last but not least for Prospect Station, we have the Cosmetics and Fortuna Pass. Windfall's premier garments and designs is an in-game cosmetic cash shop where you can buy different skins for your prospector. You can save up your Aurum to buy them, or use real money to purchase more Aurum. You can also buy the Fortuna Pass, which, you guessed it, is a battle pass. However, I will say this, as a free-to-play player, even without purchasing the battle pass, you actually get some pretty decent rewards from it, like extra armor, weapons, and medical supplies. All things you definitely need more of throughout your travels. Now, on to the meat of the game. Before venturing off into the dangerous world of Fortuna III, you're prompted to insure your gear for a small sum of money. One takes a premium currency that attempts to retrieve your gear for you, if someone doesn't loot it of course, and the other offers a fraction of the monetary value of the items if you don't make it back to an extraction point. When I first started playing, I thought that sounded kinda like a scam to me. I was like, I'm not gonna die, I'll just play it safe and make it back. Famous last words. Gentlemen, deploying without item insurance is like playing Russian roulette with a loaded handgun. It's like playing hot potato with a live grenade, or relying on the pullout method at a family reunion because cousin Susie's getting frisky and you're fresh out of condoms. It's just not a good idea. After deploying for my first time and getting absolutely rocked, I learned this the hard way. And from here on out, I always insured my gear. The cycle is my first ever experience to a PvPvE extraction shooter, so I really don't have a lot to go off of. But for my first impression of the game, all I can say is, wow. The graphics are just beautiful. It almost reminds you a bit like Fortnite at times, except way more sci-fi obviously. Not only does the game look great, but it plays good as well. Everything's pretty responsive and nothing seems sticky, which for a free-to-play game is pretty damn impressive. You get 3 different drop locations to choose from. However, I've only explored the Bright Sands up to this point. The second area, Crescent Falls, was actually just recently made available with the release of Season 2. As far as the third zone, Theris Island, well, that's still locked. Bright Sands is the first zone you, the player, will get to explore. It's home to a lot of beautiful beaches, as well as a ton of abandoned facilities. Bright Sands offers some good salvage to be had, and the PvE aspect of it isn't too challenging for the most part overall. However, with that being said, if you go looking for danger, it won't be long before you're being transported back to the station in a foam body bag. Really, a foam body bag. When I first started playing this game, there was a bit of a learning curve, but not much. Easy enough for anyone to overcome. However, in that short time period where I was still learning all the buttons and mechanics such as fall damage and EVAC damage, yes, even the EVAC station wants to kill you. It's not difficult to easily get overcome with everything that's going on, get frustrated, and rage quit after being killed on your 6th drop in a row without ever even getting a single piece of loot. But I digress. Once you get comfortable with the game's controls, the Cycle Frontier is actually quite an enjoyable game. You can drop down to Fortuna III with the sole purpose of scavenging the open world for loot, mining what little resources the planet has left to offer, explore the vast scenery, caves, and open secret locked doors to find treasures lost long ago, hunt down the deadly beasts that inhabit this hellscape, or turn to a darker side and hunt down your fellow prospectors from the shadows, taking all the spoils for yourself. The possibilities are nearly endless, and the story is your own to write. I really like the fact that, although they do have the option for in-game purchases, like the Battle Pass, it isn't a requirement to play by any means, and as someone who is free to play, you can still have loads of fun playing without having to spend a dime. Really, my only complaint about the game is not a lot of players seem to have or use their mic for in-game chat. I'll try to initiate dialogue between me and another player, but rarely will I get a response. It's usually just responded to by open fire. And because of this, I feel like many players have adopted the rules of engagement, shoot first, ask questions later, which to some I guess could be seen as a toxic trait, but to others it could also be seen as an added layer of difficulty. For the rare few bunch of lads that did respond, however, we were all able to have a decent conversation, trade any goods we may need to help each other out for quests, and even after rescuing someone that accidentally dropped in without a weapon, they asked if I needed to kill them at all for a quest, so clearly the community still has some hope. For those of you looking to play a fun, free PvPvE extraction shooter, then I would highly suggest giving this game a try. The Cycle Frontier can be downloaded absolutely free off either the Epic Games Store or Steam. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, and if you haven't already, why not hit that subscribe button? You'll be able to stay up to date with all the new content uploaded daily, and it also helps out the channel as well. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. And don't forget, keep your stick on the ice.